From zero to hero, sorry about that rather cringy catch line. This was one of the 3 options of my speaking slots, and they went with that one, and I hadn't properly thought through the title, and hey, here we are with it on the front screen. Anyway, let's move on quickly from that. But yes, I'm going to talk about how I've built a community at Muse. This is just from my experience. I want to talk to you about the things that have worked, the things that not necessarily worked, and hopefully from that you can learn something from it. So, on to the next bit. Yeah, who am I? So, I am the head of community at Muse. I will tell you what Muse do in just a sec. I have been working in communities pretty much for around 10 years. A lot of that has been in SaaS, B2B communities. I have launched 3 communities now, but I'm just going to tell you about the Muse one, which is the most recent one I've been working on. Surrey in the UK is my home, and if you want to talk to me about something that's not community, it'll be camping spots in the south of the UK. I need some more, so some good ideas, so come and have a chat with me about that. Anyway, so where it started, but before I get into that, so Muse, what does Muse do? So Muse is a property management software company that provide hospitality software to hotels, service departments, hostels, all around the world. I hadn't heard of PMSs before I joined Muse, but it's quite a big thing in the land of hospitality. And they ultimately needed a community to join their customers together. The main reason was we had customers who were trying to figure out this highly configurable software platform that we have. And it can do many great and wonderful things, but they were sometimes really losing their way in what it can do and really just wanting to be connected with other customers and hear from them about how they can do things better, what other people were doing. But I guess we all hear about that in communities, right? It's just other customers want to hear from other customers, so that's ultimately what we were doing as well. So I started with a blank canvas, which was actually quite refreshing. Sometimes as a community manager, we might go in and there's already a community and it's not working so well. That's almost quite hard to reverse and then start again. Here it was a nice fresh blank canvas, and I just had lots of freedom, which was great. Having said that, though, when we came in, the people that I was working with had already pre-selected the platform that we were going to be using, and I wasn't 100% bought into that. And it was a bit of a scary moment because it was kind of like the 11th hour of, right, now we've got Sarah, we've got the platform, let's go and launch it. And I just didn't like this platform, and it was not good. So I went and had a conversation with Gainsight, actually. And what Gainsight did was they really spoke my language. And I'm not here to promote Gainsight, even though I feel like my CSM actually is here. We do have a wonderful working relationship, and I really do enjoy the product that we're on. But I did a lot of homework and research into Gainsight, and I put together a business case against the product that had already been selected. And actually it was very difficult because that product was free to our company, and Gainsight was going to come at quite a significant cost. And I did a hell of a lot of research. I put together a business case and I sent it to the leadership team. It got to the CEO. He said, I want to have a conversation with the CEO of Gainsight. I was like, okay. So we organised that, and thank my lucky stars, it all came together last minute, and we signed a contract, and it was all well and good. I don't know what would have happened if that wasn't the case, but anyway, we're on the better side of things now. And then, of course, as community professionals, we're often doing things on our own. So while that's one sense, it's really great because I, for one, really like working independently, and I'm not very good at teamwork, so that was really, really great. On the other hand, you're doing an awful lot of things. Anyway, that was that. Key learnings from my beginning of this whole phase was to use the tools that you have available wisely. When I started at Muse, they had all these different software systems that you have to get to grips with quite quickly. Asana was something that I hadn't really used before, and I found that if I didn't hurry up and quickly learn it, that was really going to slow me down from doing the work that I really needed to do. So I would say, while you've got a bit of free time at the very beginning when you start, use it and make sure that you skill up on those tools. Don't start defining community purpose until you speak with your target audience. I feel like we're all very good at what we do, but that is my big lesson. Don't start building something until you've spoken to who you're actually building it for. This is one great bit of advice that my CCO gave me not so long ago, because I was having a conversation with him and I said, I have so much to do, I need some more people, I don't have enough staff to do all the great stuff, but I need to prove some results before I can get the people, what do I do? And he just said to me, go to the people, don't wait for them to come to you. As in, kind of stop moaning about it, you're not going to get headcount right now, you need to go and find the people who will give you the time, work on your stakeholders, and get the people to work with you. And that's been a really great bit of advice. Yeah. And then also fully research your community platform before you commit. You know, you're kind of committing to a marriage, essentially, here. So you need to make sure that it's not going to end in divorce, because that's painful for everybody. So yeah. So the things that I did as I was moving into building this community at Muse, I mentioned about talk to your target audience. So what I did was, and actually, just take a step back, one of the things that my hiring manager did, which really, really helped me, when he was going through the interview process and interviewing for my role, for a community manager to build this community, he asked everyone that he was interviewing to come up with a launch strategy for the community. So I went to the interview and I presented this wonderful launch strategy. It got me the job. When I got in, what he had done was he had built my Asana board with all of the tasks that I'd put in my presentation of how I will launch my community. So when I got in, it was already, all the tasks were set and I knew what I was going to be doing. So I thought that was a really smart move of his. One of those things was to talk to everybody, as many customers as I could that I was building this platform for. In hospitality, there are so many different shapes and sizes of hotels. There's so many different regions, so many different languages, so many different personas. There's general managers, there are revenue managers, there's front of house supervisors. It's a bit crazy. But I spoke to 50 customers, and I went to all of our CSMs in Muse, and I said, can you just tell me and introduce me to our happy customers? I don't want miserable ones who are just going to moan to me about how many support tickets they have. I need happy ones who know our product and who are a bit more forward-thinking. I did that, and that was really interesting because I set a set number of questions that I needed to ask, and I also delved a bit more into kind of regional behaviors as well. That was very interesting because we have lots of languages, lots of different countries that we deal with. All of the nuances of those different cultures, they really mean a lot when you're building a community. So that was really something I had to bear in mind. For like in our Japanese customers, for example, they don't get involved with communities. They just don't see the value in it. So I just didn't bother with that. Whereas in Germany, oh my gosh, it's a huge thing and they want it all in German. So these are the things that I learned very quickly. And actually, it got me a lot of kudos in the company, because to be speaking to customers one-to-one, you learn so much and you can go and tell everybody, oh no, these customers don't want that, and they listen to you, you know. So from all these customers that I spoke with, I had then built my beautiful group of ambassadors. And these ambassadors, I basically said to them, can you help me launch this community? I'm going to do a soft launch, and what I would really love for you to do is write 2 bits of content, come in twice a week for the next 4 weeks, and comment, ask a question, answer something. And they did that, and it worked really, really well. And I wouldn't launch a community in any other way. After we did that soft launch, when the room, you know, you go to a party, the room is already full, it's already got a buzz, you're happy. That's kind of what had happened with this community, which was really, really great. This picture on the left-hand side, once I'd launched the community, once I'd done the global launch, this group of German customers had come together on the community, shared a spreadsheet of all the things that they didn't like about a product feature. And I sent this to one of the product managers, who just put his head in his hands. Anyway, I managed to convince this PM to come and do a webinar and listen to these customers and listen to what they had to say. They loved it. This was exactly what they wanted. As painful it was for the product team, this is what we have community for. So just talking about building internal allies, it's just about identifying who your stakeholders are internally. At Muse, we are going through a huge growth phase. In 2027, we're aiming to IPO. We've got some serious big guns in the company now, really shaking things up, and it's all getting very serious, and we're all talking about automation, digitization, it's all about strategy. So I'm feeling the pressure more and more of being able to prove that what I'm doing is worth the money they're paying me, paying the license to Gainsight, et cetera, et cetera. So I need to make sure that when I'm going and talking to my stakeholders, I'm talking in the right language. They need to know that what we have in the community is actually going to deliver something for them. I can't go to them and ask for them to create content if they're not going to get anything out of it. So it's those cross-team partnerships. I was talking to one of the heads of our product team the other day, and he said, well, how many decision makers do you have in the community? That was a key one. He wanted to know decision makers. He doesn't need to know the number of members. That doesn't mean anything. But for their beta program group that we have in the community, which is one of the most busiest parts of the community, the product team love it. They need to know how many decision makers are in there, otherwise it's just not really worth their time. The support team, they want to know how many customers are coming and asking them questions, and how many customers are answering the questions. Are those customers right? The customer success team, they want to know if anyone's asking anything about pricing. So all of these things, you just have to make sure you're having the right conversations with the right team. One thing I'm probably not very good at, but actually working in a company like Muse, you have to, is really just be your own cheerleader. Is just when you've got small wins, just go and shout about it, because you are your best marketing person. No one else is going to do it for you. So you just got to spread the word and tell everybody of all the great things you're doing. I've got a couple of minutes left. Super users, they are your secret weapon. I always try and concentrate majority of my time on my super users. Don't worry about the people that aren't doing anything in your community. Just concentrate on those. This guy on the top, he was one of my ambassadors that came at the beginning. I think it was last year. He won an award at our conference, our annual conference. His name's Mick. He flew over from Australia. He's such a nice guy. And then at the bottom here, this is Moritz. He's wonderful as well, and he's such a support to the community. And it's really great that I can keep in contact with these guys. So we've also built a recognition program recently, which has been very successful. Luckily, I have an advocacy manager that I work with, so she gives me that support. It's not me doing it, thankfully. Amplify voices, yes, just build product roadmap around what your customers are saying and try and make it as though you are listening to your customers and you're passing on this information to your product team. And yes, beta testers is one of those great areas that we have in our community that works really, really well. I'm running out of time, so I'm kind of going on a bit here quickly. Yes, work smarter, not harder. We've all heard that one. But we do have, it's just about having those different, being very clever with how you automate and save yourself time. We use another one of Gainsight's products where actually it alerts you if there's community content that's related to a phase that you're going through in the product journey. That's really helpful. We also created a Slack Zap that automates a topic. If it comes up in the community, it sends a Slack message after 24 hours if it hasn't been answered to the right team, so we don't have to do it. And then get your members to tell the story. I organized an event a month or so ago. I had a glass of wine with this lovely gentleman. He loved the community. He loves Muse. And I was just like, straight away, can you please do an interview with me? So there's a recorded interview of him on that. And that event, I got eight people to commit to video, so I'm just working through that now. So that was a really great way, looking someone in the eye and getting them to commit to something. That's a really, really great way of doing things. I'm not going to go into metrics now because what Brian presented to us yesterday I thought was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I can't compete with that. This I found really helpful, and this is my last slide. This is just planning of what you want your community to do and the structure that's really helped me build it. And it's just trying not to do too many things at once and expecting too much, because then I find I get into a bit of a panic because you try boil the ocean and it just doesn't work. So it's just a matter of taking things step by step and always looking what's coming next and being strategic about that next move. There's quite a few things that I've got going on which I'd love to tell you about, but I've run out of time. And that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.